Rain, sleet, or snow, the Eagles train to go. Rain, sleet, or snow. Rain, sleet, or snow.
Let me talk my shit again.
What it do? This is the Talk My Shit Again podcast. I'm your humbly hostile host, CASSIUS Cliff. Before we break down this 28-22 victory by our Philadelphia Eagles going against the Los Angeles Rams, please like, share, subscribe, as well as comment. It goes a long way. Much appreciated. Thank you. With that being said, you heard QB1 Jalen Hurts mention it himself, and mind you, that is a clip from 2 seasons ago. Oddly enough, in the NFC Championship 2 seasons ago. But you heard him. Rain, sleet, or snow, Eagles are trained to go. If you ask me if there was anything that I was worried about, I was concerned about this play right here. But the fact that if this is Pat Mahomes, Roger Goodell himself, including Jesus, will come down to the field and ask, what are you doing as a defender? This is our golden child. But Jalen Hurts, the dual threat quarterback that he is, he doesn't get the same benefit of the doubt. Hip drop, no flag. That's what I would have been concerned with when it came to this game. Because I know how this game went and I know how it was looking. Maybe Rams fans thought they had a chance. Maybe some Eagles fans were worried that it was going to look like the Falcons game. But when you got a guy like this in the backfield, number 2-6, and he's grinning, knowing he's about to get the ball, and everybody else in their bones, they feel that this guy's about to break one. How can you be concerned? Why should you be afraid? How should you not pop your shit? I appropriately named my podcast to Talk My Shit Again for these reasons and these moments specifically in mind. We're just built differently. From quarterback to receiver to running back, offensive line, defensive line, it don't matter. We win the Philly way and it makes people sick to their stomach. And trust me, it makes me happy to see them sick like that. Because they fully expected the Rams to come into our stadium to throw a party, to win. Matthew Stafford could win in the cold. The last time he did it against the Eagles, who the fuck cares about what happened in the past? You know how many times we put narratives to bed this season? The Bengals, the Ravens, Dallas at home, despite not having Dak. Like, it is 2024 to 2025 season in the NFL. It has been a new season for the Eagles. I don't know if anybody's catching on yet, but last year was last year. We are not the same team. And clearly, we are built differently this year. Because the fact that we have a guy like A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Jalen Hurts, including Saquon Barkley, come on, bro. It is not the same. And I'm about to show y'all why really quickly. First and foremost, Jalen Hurts, let's be for real. Jalen Hurts could have looked better. But when you start off the game like this, started off with two passes, first one being an under center, play action pass. And then you cap it off with this big run on the first drive of the game. How else should you not be impressed and really hopeful when it comes to the game and how it's going to go overall? Obviously, it did not look like the blowout that I expected it to be. I called 28-14, convincing win, if not 31-10. Clearly, that's not what happened. We got to 28. Not the way I expected, though. So you got a guy like Jalen Hurts who's been not as dialed in, or I would say not clicking all the way when it comes to the passing game, taking his chances and delivering dimes. Though this was a headhunt by Witherspoon on Smitty, Smitty should have held on to this ball still. And it looks like our guys are just, they haven't been making the plays that we fully expect them to make, and that's fine, because I firmly believe these guys are going to bounce back, not only when it comes to a guy like Smitty, who had, not as many opportunities. This one is being a headhunt, it was a flag anyway. A guy like A.J. Brown, who's a top 3 receiver in all of football, should not be dropping passes like this. Again, people criticize Jalen for his passing ability and his inability to get the ball to his main receivers. In this game alone, 15 for 20, 128 yards, no touchdowns in the air, no interceptions, but a touchdown on the ground, 91 passer rating, 7 rushing yards, 7 rushing attempts, 7 yards. So when you get a chance like this, AJ, you got to make this catch, bro. You're a demon in your own right. You're a freak of nature in your own right. If there was a little more grass, maybe another foot, inbound catch, but that's not the case. You gotta have it. He had space there. His guy gave him a chance. You got to make that catch. When it came to what Jalen did, the worst in this game, I think, was holding on to the ball. And obviously, him getting hip dropped and that knee having a, I guess a sprain, it definitely took a little bit of life out of his legs because those legs were not the same in that second half like it was in that first quarter. Not remotely the same. And I feel like this safety right here shows that clearly. I mean, the offensive line, I don't know what they was on. I think they was probably on skates. That's the way that defensive line made them look. The way the Rams were doing stunts and really getting pressure on Jalen in like 2-3 seconds was kind of astonishing. We have not seen pressure allowed like that all season. The weather may have something to do with that. Maybe Jalen Hurts and really the play calling may have something to do with that because there's no reason with us being backed up in our own end zone like this with a guy who just hurt his knee, why are you dropping back the pass and it's 2nd and 6? Running the ball again. Why you run the ball? Why do I say that? Saquon Barkley, the way that I've seen him play football this year, not only is it a testament to what Jeff Stalin and his offensive line has been able to do in terms of making a guy like DeAndre Swift look good, making a guy like Miles Sanders look like a top 10 running back. Saquon Barkley clearly is not from this planet or maybe even from this galaxy. I've never been a conspiracy theorist. When you see guys like him play when really there's nobody else like him in the NFL, that makes me a believer in aliens 100%. He has to be an extraterrestrial. How do you do this virtually every week? How do you do this 2 times against the same team and they know you're going to run the ball? I did hear something interesting, though. I heard apparently he spoke to Marshall Faulk early this week, and his advice to Saquon was, don't take the home run hits early and often. Set them up and set up them for the end of the game to put the game away. And that's exactly what Saquon Barkley did. As soon as I seen him hit that crease, just like Jalen Hurts did, I mean, he didn't even pass the 10. He wasn't even 10 yards past the line of scrimmage. Hands were thrown up because we know what's going to happen. He's going to hit his hand on the goalpost. They're not catching him. This guy's just different from everybody in the NFL. And it's a shame that it took, 6 seasons and coming to the Philadelphia Eagles for everybody to realize that and acknowledge that this guy is different than anybody we've seen in a long time. I mean, I don't think whether or not T-Mac would have been healthy, I don't think anybody would have had a better season than what he had. And kudos to him. Kudos to the offensive line. Kudos to the offensive play calling on this. And really, let me not even say that because that's Jalen Hurts on his touchdown run and those 2 big runs. He checked into those plays. So for all the people that say that Jalen Hurts doesn't know how to read a defense, that is how you read a defense. He knew exactly when to check into this run, which is why Saquon was cheesing. Because he knew it was about to be a wrap. When you got a closer like this in Saquon Barkley and the best defense in all of football, I mean, Slay should have picked off this pass to start off, and that would have broke this game open. Quinyon Mitchell, with that 1 pass breakup, getting injured on that scramble by Matthew Stafford definitely hurts. Hopefully he comes back next week. Apparently it's not a serious injury, so praise that he's able to come back. But when you got guys like C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Nolan Smith, Jalix Hunt, you got a guy like Milton Williams get a tackle for, 10 tackle for losses, 5 sacks, 10 pass breakups, and 2 forced fumbles. How is this not the best defense in all of football? Matthew Stafford threw a party. Let's not make no mistake about it. But when they had a chance to take the lead at a pivotal point in the game after that safety, Jalen Carter shows up and gets a forced fumble. Another freak of nature, another alien on this team. Including a guy like Zach Bond. Everybody on this defense seems to make plays. Nolan Smith with a strip sack. Nolan Smith, bro, the fact that we got Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter in the same draft, the people were saying that we reached for him. And finally, in year 2, the guy's turning the corner and becoming a viable option as an edge rusher. He's better than Josh Sweat, right? He's our best edge rusher at this point in time. Slade, the vet, stepping up with our rookie being out. And what more can we say about Jalen Carter? What more can we say about this guy? In this game alone, 5 tackles, 5 pressures, 3 QB hits, 2 sacks, 2 tackle for losses, and a forced fumble, and getting double teamed like 70% of the plays. The reason why this forced down stop happened was all because of Jalen Carter. After that 3rd and 2 sack that led to a 4th and 11 attempt, who blows up the play again? None other than the demon himself, Jalen Carter. It's just hard for me to really conceptualize how people think they could really hang with this team. Too many studs on either side of the ball, and you really have Tier 1 players. Jalen Carter being, I think he should have been a first-team All-Pro. Saquon Barkley being a first-team All-Pro. You got All-Pros on either side of the ball. I mean, these are the kind of games you expect to win. In the way that we won, I'm more than happy with it because in the end, you might have to win an ugly game. And you had a team driving down the field and you stop them on 4 downs in a row? Come on, bro. You can only be proud of that, especially given the fact they let up a very easy drive the drive before that. So it's like, damn, it's going to be a repeat of Atlanta. But Jalen Carter said, not today, not this week. And here we are. Here we are after a 28-22 victory where the pass game wasn't really there. Jalen Hurts got his knee banged up. A.J. Brown had a costly drop that could have been a big-time touchdown. Jake Elliott missing extra points. For a guy that has not missed one field goal for his entire career in the playoffs, missing extra points very easily. Oddly enough, though, every time he has missed an extra point, we have won. 4-0. So I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means he needs to make an extra point next game. But ultimately, our ticket is punched. For the second time in 3 years, we're on our way to the conference game. Now, I know this may be new for a lot of Commanders fans. For a guy that lives in the DMV and has a lot of DMV, well, rather Commanders fans that are friends, homies, loved ones, I'm happy for y'all. I'll say that much. For the fan base in general, for that team, we on your fucking head top. Because the road to the Super Bowl goes through Philly. If y'all thought it was going to be like last time, remember the last time y'all came to Philly and y'all played the Eagles? How did that go for y'all? How's it going for anybody that's come to the link and played us? It's not a cool environment to be a part of. Ask Jared Verse, who still had a good game. But when it came down to it, he was the one looking at the back of Saquon Barkley's jersey at my first touchdown run. And on the second one, I didn't even know where he was. I just know he wasn't in the play because the play wasn't made. In the end, we have the ultimate closer, and we have a demon on the other side in Jalen Carter. I don't know what they expect to do in Washington when it comes to that matchup, but I know it's going to be a hell of a game, and I'm too excited for it. I know a lot of us are probably planning to go to Philly, myself included. I'm just too excited for it because if there's no other way I'd rather for it to go down. For us to go to the Super Bowl, to take out a divisional rival that's been riding high, that beat us the last time we saw them, for us to set the record straight, specifically. Because let's be for real. Y'all beat us without Jalen Hurts in that game. Y'all beat Kenny Pickett, and though we were in that game, we could have won that game. Y'all have not beat Jalen Hurts, especially in Philly. Y'all gonna have to do that this time. We'll see soon enough, y'all, if they're up for the challenge. And ultimately, we know who the better team is at this point. We just got to prove it on Sunday at 3 o'clock. With that being said, this is the Talk My Shit Again podcast. I'm your humbly hostile host, CASSIUS. We out to the next one. Peace.